Hiroshima. We're going to start with chapter 4. So I'm going to be modeling asking questions as I read. I might also make some predictions. We may even visualize because those are all things that we've already learned. Chapter 4, the attack. Well, that's a pretty easy prediction. We know that the Enola Gay is on its way toward Hiroshima. We know that it's going to drop a nuclear bomb. So it's easy to predict that that attack is going to be the Enola Gay dropping this bomb on Hiroshima. All over Japan, there are observers who look out for the American bombers. 19 miles east of Hiroshima, an observer spots the Enola Gay and its two companions. Hurriedly, he calls the army headquarters in Hiroshima. Reiko answers the phone and takes down the report. She is shocked to learn that there are more bombers coming. Angrily, she thinks this is a sneaky trick to catch people outside the shelters. She dials the radio station immediately and asks the announcers to warn everyone. Now, it makes me kind of question when she says she thinks this is a bad trick. You know, the first plane came over, everybody ran into the shelters. Once that plane left, everyone thought they were safe. So we've got school children out working, we have people back on their way to work, and now the bomb is coming. So Reiko thinks that that's mean, that it sort of tricked everybody out of the shelters. I wonder if that's something that the people on the Enola Gay had thought about, that people might be out of the shelters because they felt safe. Reiko thinks she is safe deep inside the ancient castle, but she prays for her mother at home and Sachi out in the street, tearing down houses. Ooh, that makes me question, is everybody in this family going to turn out okay in this story? In the meantime, people go on calmly with their lives. They eat their breakfast, they begin their work. Outside their homes, the very small children begin to play. A colonel rides his horse across a bridge. On the Enola Gay, Colonel Tibbets orders, "On glasses." His crew pull on goggles to protect their eyes. However, Colonel Tibbets must see clearly to steer the bomber. He does not put on goggles. Neither does the bombardier. What's a bombardier? Well, okay, so we read that this is an airplane that carries bombs, and we know it has a bomb on it, and bombardier has the word bomb in it. So maybe the bombardier might have something to do with bombs? Everyone is tense and excited. No one is sure if the bomb will go off. Yesterday on Tinian, Colonel Tibbets tested the gun-like device that sets off the bomb. It did not work then. Now the bombardier looks through his bomb sight and guides the Enola Gay the last few miles to its target. Doors snap open on the belly of the plane. The bombardier sees his landmark. It is a bridge shaped like a T. On the bridge, a Japanese colonel rides his horse. The bombardier presses a button to release the bomb. Okay, so that's what the bombardier does have something to do with the bomb. He's pressing the button that drops the bomb. Down below, the children in the streets hear the hum of the Enola Gay's engines. They look up and see the Enola Gay. Its silver sides gleam in the sun. Fine white lines stripe the sky behind its engines. Sachi's friend calls excitedly to her and points up. "A B-29! B-29! B-29!" a teacher shouts. Sachi remembers her sister's warning. From her emergency bag, she pulls out her special hood and puts it on. I wonder if that special hood is really going to protect her in this situation. Another teacher blows a whistle. It is a signal for the children to go to the air raid shelter. In the Enola Gay, the bombardier shouts, "Bomb away!" The huge, heavy bomb drops from the airplane. Suddenly, the Enola Gay is much lighter and it jerks up into the air. Colonel Tibbets is skillful. He keeps control of the airplane and swings it to the right. The bomb whistles as it plunges down through the air. On the Enola Gay, a crewman flips a switch on a special radio. It sends a signal to a special gun inside the bomb. This time, the gun works. It shoots a cone-shaped bullet of uranium into a larger ball of uranium. Everything is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Can you picture that from science class where you've learned about how things are made of atoms? In my mind, I have a very specific picture from like a science book of what an atom looks like. So maybe you have that sort of a picture in your mind. They are so small, they are invisible to the eye. The atoms are also made up of even smaller parts. Energy holds these parts together like glue. When the atom bomb breaks up into its parts, the energy goes free and there is a big explosion. Inside the bomb, one uranium atom collides with another. Those atoms both break up. Their parts smash into more atoms and split them in turn. This is called a chain reaction. There are millions and millions of atoms inside the bomb. When they all break up, it is believed that the atom bomb will equal 20,000 tons of dynamite. In 1945, it is the most powerful weapon ever made. As the chain reaction builds, the bomb falls faster and faster, but it does not go off over the bridge. It explodes over a hospital instead. So can you visualize that in your mind? The hospital, in Sadako, we saw pictures of her in the hospital. So I still have those images in my mind of Sadako in her hospital bed, of Kendi in his wheelchair. So picturing those people in the hospital, and then you picture this bomb drop on that hospital. That's a really powerful visual image. There is a blinding light like a sun. There is a boom like a giant drum. There is a terrible wind. Houses collapse like boxes. Windows break everywhere. Broken glass swirls like angry insects. The wind strikes Sachi back like a hammer and picks her up. She feels as if she has fallen into boiling oil. It tears away her special hood and even her clothes. The wind sweeps her into the whirlwind of glass. There is no time to scream. There is no one to hear. There is only the darkness, and Sachi mercifully passes out. What about Raiko? What about her sister? Now I'm questioning. They told us what happened to Sachi, but then the chapter just ends. So what's happening to Raiko? What's happening to their mother? Chapter 5, The Mushroom Cloud. Okay, so there I would predict the mushroom cloud is referring to when a nuclear bomb explodes. You've probably seen pictures of that before, of that cloud that kind of starts up like this and then up like a mushroom. And call it a mushroom cloud. The Enola Gay circles. The same wind that carries Sachi through the air almost knocks the bomber from the sky. Colonel Tibbets manages to right his airplane. The two companion bombers begin to take pictures and record the explosion. Up until then, no single bomb has ever caused so much damage or so many deaths. Out of 76,327 buildings, over 50,000 are destroyed. Up to 125,000 people will die on that first day or will die soon. We know from Sadako, remember in that story, her grandmother was one of the people who died. The wind mixes their dust with dirt and debris. Then it sends everything boiling upward into tall purple-gray column. When the top of the dust cloud spreads out, it looks like a strange giant mushroom. The bottom of the mushroom cloud is fiery red. All over the city, fires spring up. They rise like flames from a bed of coals. The bomb goes off 580 meters above the ground. The temperature reaches several million degrees Celsius immediately. It is so hot that the hospital below and everyone inside it disappears. That's another interesting visual. Can you picture in your mind that this hospital was here, and then we pictured this bomb, coming down toward the hospital, and then when the bomb hits, it's so hot that everything in that hospital, all the equipment, the wheelchairs, the lunch trays, everything just is gone. 200 yards away, people vanish. However, in that instant, their outlines are burned into the cement like shadows. The army headquarters and all the soldiers and Raiko and her classmates are destroyed. So that's what happened to Raiko. She was killed. 1 mile away, the fierce heat starts fires. Even 2 miles away, people are burned by the heat. On the Enola Gay, the tail gunner tries to count the fires, but he gives up because there are too many. Everyone in the crew has flown on bombers. They have helped drop tons of regular bombs. On each flight, they have seen death and destruction, but no one has ever seen anything as powerful as this one bomb. The co-pilot writes a note to himself. What have we done? When the bomb's uranium breaks up, bits of atoms zip away. They go right through people's skin and hurt their bodies inside. This is called radiation. It will make thousands of people sick. Many will die later that day. More will fall ill and die in a year. Some will die in 5 years, or 10, or 20. People are still dying today. So I had asked the question about, did the men on the Enola Gay think about the fact that people would be out of their shelters when the bomb dropped? And it sounds like they really didn't know that that was going to be part of what would happen, because when it describes how they felt, after seeing all these fires and seeing the destruction and the co-pilot writing that note, what have we done? That sounds like they really didn't know what this bomb was going to do before they dropped it. So it was a bad experience for them as well. Chapter 6 is called Destruction. Again, that's an easy prediction, isn't it? We know, we've already read how this bomb dropped and started fires, and that it was so hot that it made people just disappear. One of the characters has already died when the bomb fell. So we can imagine from that title, Destruction, I predict that that's what this is going to talk about. More of this destruction that happens after the bomb fell. Sachi wakes a few minutes later when she hears someone screaming. At first, there's so much smoke and dust that she feels as if she is staring at a black wall. Then the smoke and dust rise like a curtain. She is stunned when she sees all the damage. One moment there was a city there. Now all the buildings are destroyed. The streets are filled with rubble and ruins. She does not know what could cause such wide destruction. Shocked, Sachi stumbles through the wasteland until she stops upon a lawn. From the wrecked buildings, people call for help. Before she can help anyone, the buildings go up in flames. It is so hot around her that the grass catches fire. She crouches down and waits and hopes. The sheet of fire retreats. Flames shoot out of the nearby houses. People continue to scream. Everywhere there is a sea of fire. Sachi follows some people as they run into a cemetery. She jumps over tombstones. The pine trees around them catch fire with a great crackling noise. Ahead, she sees a river. People jump into it to get away from the fire. In the panic, some people are crushed. Others drown. Sachi cannot swim. She jumps in anyway. Then she sees a wooden bucket drifting by. She grabs it and holds on desperately. So that's a good place to visualize. Can you see in your mind Sachi? She's scared. She's run from this fire. Now she's jumped in this river and she's holding on to this wooden bucket. Imagine her hands clutched on the bucket really tight, trying not to let go. Her face just terrified of what's happening. The water splashing around her in this river. Take a second and try to visualize that. Soon the water is full of bodies. The hot ash from all the fires soars high, high into the sky. When the fiery ash mixes with the cold air, it causes rain. It is a horrible kind of rain. The rain falls in drops as big as marbles. The drops are black and greasy with dust. The drops sting like falling pebbles. The rain leaves black, oily spots wherever it falls. The rain is radioactive. It will make people sick too. They will also die. After about an hour, the rain puts out the fires. Somebody finds Sachi and brings her to the hospital. So apparently they must have had more than one hospital, right? Because we read that one of the hospitals just disappeared. So there must be another hospital that they're taking her to. That's my prediction. The people living just outside Hiroshima think they are safe. They search through the deadly wasteland for family and friends. They do not know about radiation. Some of these searchers will also fall ill. Many of them will die. One mother hunts all over the city for her children. Finally, she stops at a hospital. The bodies of school children are piled up on a hallway bench. The mother looks through the bodies for her daughter. She hears a groan. Someone is alive. It is Sachi. However, Sachi has terrible burns on her face. She cannot even smile. It is as if she has no face. One arm is bent permanently. Of all of her classmates, only she has survived. Despite America's terrible new weapon, Japanese military leaders still refuse to give up. 3 days later, on August 9th, 1945, the Americans drop another bomb, this time on the city of Nagasaki. Much of that city is also destroyed. 70,000 people die. At last, on August 15th, Japan surrenders. World War II is finally over. What's going to happen next to Sachi? That's my question now. We know that she's burned, she's injured, the war's over, that's great, but what's going to happen to her?